spent the day at the Winthrop Market. It's here in the Tampa Bay area. This is the second time I've tried to, I've gone to a farmer's market. The first time I tried about a month and a half ago. No, I'm sorry, closer to two or 3 months ago. Had some issues with equipment and the canopy. Only was able to interview one person. Was much better prepared now. Got all that knowledge from kind of what I learned from there and took it here. I did end up hiring somebody to help me, Jordan Trowbridge, delightful, intelligent, and engaging young man, helped me through the day. I had him on the podcast as well. But Winthrop Market's a wonderful farmer's market. I had a couple hundred vendors, and it's in this Winthrop Square, and it's a great event. The booth is fairly inexpensive, but the goal, the mission, was to talk to people that I just wouldn't be able to talk to typically, and have great conversations. And I did just that. It was a wonderful, wonderful day. It was a hot day in Western Florida. Got up to about 90, but there was a slight breeze, and all the equipment worked well. We got solar panels and a charging unit to charge all the equipment. First gentleman, Bobby Perdomo, was a fascinating man. He came back from addiction and is bouncing back and helping others. Jack Tanzerite, assistant, his PA, works on the back. Very interesting discussion about myths and how to better help the back. Michael Johnson. There's a dying language called the Gullah. It's in the Low Country. For those of you who are not familiar with the great area of Charleston and Kiowa, that whole area of South Carolina, it's called Low Country. And there's a language there that's spoken only by 250,000 people. And it's still trying to live and preserve and move on. And Michael Johnson was talking about that. It's fascinating how these languages live on. The Smithsonian Institute has acknowledged it. Joel Chadnow, fascinating. Joel is a teacher in his core. He's very much into wellness. Fascinating stories. He teaches at the community college here, and his road to wellness, what it took to get him there, and why he was just a teacher. What happened in that pivot to make him just that. Ray Bazares was in the Navy, became a minister, a pastor, and some of his challenges there during that transition. He wasn't the best when he was in the military, and what he had to do to get over that to continue his life. Great conversation. Charles Jacobs, my goodness. When he was in the military, his troops wanted some kind of path to success, to life. So he made this line in transition, this whole complete system, this paradigm that he's created. And he walks people through it, and it's absolutely wonderful. I can't wait for you to. Russell Graham, fragrances. I know very little about this subject. I let others do that for me, but he is a professional at fragrances. He did serve time in the military. He's out, talks about discovering them, what it takes to do with them, how to apply them, how to use them. He's got great stories about that. My last conversation was with Jordan Trowbridge. He's got great things to say about the Florida Everglades, and he's into animal rescue. He loves reptiles. We talk about the python issue in Florida in the Everglades, and fascinating young man who's engaging, very, very smart, and boy, the world is his oyster. Great day at the Winthrop Market. Thanks so much for listening and watching. Hi, I'm Joey Pinz, and here's my 45-second introduction. After starting my business in the 90s, I started developing poor habits of eating in my diet because of working way too much. I found myself at 340 pounds. The doctor told me if I don't lose the weight, I'm not going to see my daughter graduate. I took the next 7 months, lost 130 pounds. People ask me, how'd you do it? What's the secret? I need to lose weight. How'd you do it? How'd I lose the weight? Just one word: discipline. I've had other successes in life, and I attribute them all to discipline. Now, I'm not the king of discipline, but I believe that it can help all of us. Friends convinced me to start a podcast. The podcast mission: how do we better ourselves and society? I talk to interesting people in health, fitness, sport, wellness, business, technology, science, art, and culture. And I eventually ask them how discipline plays a role in their life. Podcast vision: growth through learning from others. Russell, why do you like fragrances?
Well,
Come close. Fist away.
the reason that I like fragrances is because I like to smell good, and I know from the little bit of research I've done that it attracts different kinds of energy from different people.
It attracts energy.
Exactly.
How did you first get introduced to fragrances?
Oh my goodness, way back in the 60s. you know, a youngster. I'm 76 years old, so I've been around a while. But I was introduced by incense, you know, like that. And that gave me a different approach to being able, I like to be around people. I'm kind of sociable kind of person.
Yeah.
So I chose that to just, you know, introduce myself to different people.
Do you have a strong sense of smell?
I would say so.
Unusually strong, you think?
Well, mid-range. I could tell you, you know, what's popular and what's unpopular. You know what I'm
And
saying?
how's that manifest? And how about in food?
Oh, food?
Can you smell the ingredients?
Well, I tell you what, I like different ingredients because I think that's what really makes the meal flavorful.
Yeah.
Is the ingredients. You know what I'm saying? Like ginger, I use garlic, you know, things that benefit, have some medicinal benefits. You know.
How does one choose what fragrance is for them?
Well, I think it's just over time, trying, testing.
Because what smells good to yourself might not necessarily smell good to somebody else.
You're absolutely correct. So generally, when I get a customer or consumer, I ask them, do they have any particular fragrances that they use periodically or receive as gifts? Because it's an inexpensive gift.
Right.
Most of my products are affordable. So I'm trying to just generate a market, you know, and have fun doing it.
And how do you make a fragrance?
Well,
Russell?
I'm not making any fragrances. I'm buying wholesale and sometimes I sell retail. But most of the time I'm just generally letting people sample things. And if they have a need or a desire to want to purchase, then of course I'm available.
Do you ever mix and make some your own?
I have, but it's been quite a while.
And what's the trick to that?
Well, there's really no trick. It's just really what people like.
I see.
You see what I'm saying?
Now,
But people are more traditional. You know what I'm saying? Those people who utilize these oils and fragrances, it's just traditional, what they're accustomed to.
and how should one apply fragrances to the body?
Well, there's sensory glands
Yes.
behind the ears, on the wrists, on the beard, and perhaps a dose on some private parts.
Is there ever such thing as a wrong fragrance for someone?
I mean, if the customer likes it, that's fine. You know, there's customers I've had, sometimes they're offended by a particular fragrance, and that kind of behooves me because I don't have that condition or precondition.
Have you ever smelled the fragrance on someone and said it's just wrong for you?
No. I like to compliment people rather
Right.
than beat them across the head with words.
And we're told these days that some of the fragrances, the ingredients are not good for you, not good for your skin. Are we looking towards organic fragrances?
Absolutely.
Really?
Naturopathic, homeopathic products don't have any fillers, additives, you know, will make you break out in a rash, you know. Now, one of my particular products that I have that is, I have a customer base for is the shea butter. Here in Florida, it's extremely hot. This is May, and it's 90 degrees out here. You know? So you would think in June, July, and August, it's going to be cooking, okay? So with the shea butter that I have, it's organic shea butter. It's a sunscreen. Okay? So you're protecting yourself from skin cancer.
Wow.
You okay? So that's a very good product. Then I also have the black soap, which is a very good product. So again, these products are homeopathic, naturopathic products that have medicinal benefits.
And how can one figure out, Russell, what their fragrance is? I struggle with this. I end up letting my girlfriend choose.
Okay. Well, again, it's it's such a wide variety.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Now, that's a good question. That's something that I need to try to do a little bit more research on, Joey. You know what I'm saying? That will give me an indication on how to speak to that direct.
Right.
You know?
Welcome. I'm Joey Pinz, and I'm thrilled to guide you through this course. Discipline for Greatness, Unlocking Your Best Self in 7 days. Whether you're here to take the first step toward a better you or looking to build on the momentum you already have, you're in the right place. This course is about real change, not fluff. Let's get started. This course is based on my book, Discipline for Greatness, 5 Steps to Success and Happiness. It's the product of decades of experience, and more importantly, conversations with hundreds of incredible people on the podcast. In the next 7 days, we'll focus on building purpose-driven habits, creating a balance in every part of your life, and activating the full power of discipline. You'll walk away with more clarity, more control, and real confidence. This course is based on my book, Discipline for Greatness, 5 Simple Steps to Success and Happiness. It's the product of decades of experience and, more importantly, conversations with hundreds of incredible people on my podcast. In the next 7 days, we'll focus on building purpose-driven habits, creating balance in every part of your life, and activating the full power of discipline. You'll walk away with more clarity, more control, and real confidence. Here's what to expect. The course runs for 7 days and 2 short episodes each day, 10 to 15 minutes max. It's fast, focused, and meant to drive real transformation. Each day builds on the last, so grow consistently. We've packed in reflection prompts, guest stories, and short quiz at the end of each day to help lock in the learning. Make sure you have your companion workbook ready. It's your space to journal, reflect, and take action. This just isn't information, it's transformation. You're going to be challenged. You're going to be supported. Most of all, you're going to be inspired. Discipline isn't about restriction. It's about unlocking potential. My job is to help you discover yours. Now you might be wondering, why did I create this course? Because I know what it's like to want more in life and not know where to start. How is this different from other content? Because this isn't about hustle. It's about harmony. What if I fall behind? No problem. It's designed for your flexibility. Do you need to read the book first? Nope. But if you do later, it'll reinforce everything here. And how do you get the most out of the course? Stay engaged. Use the workbook. Reflect. Commit. And finally, what if you don't see results right away? Be patient. Transformation takes time, but every small step counts. You've got everything you need to start strong. So take a deep breath. Shake off the noise, and let's get started. Your best self is just 7 days away.
Because I like citrus, I like
Okay.
flowers, I like nature, right? I like, I don't know if there's anything I don't like, but so do you just try to ask them things that they like and take it from there? I like, what's the process of discovering your scent, Russell?
Well, it's really, you just have to try it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And see if it agrees.
Well, one of the things that I use as a plot and a ploy, so to speak, okay, is that you just let them sample it.
Right.
And if they enjoy it, or if they get compliments, then that's a win-win situation.
Right.
So, in essence, what I'm saying is I may tell a customer, consumer, if you don't get a compliment from this product, I'll buy it back from you.
Wow.
So how can you miss?
Right.
It's a win-win.
And when does one apply? Every day do you put something on?
Oh yeah, with these natural oils, you know, they last all day.
Wow.
One swipe goes into your pores. Every time you sweat, that fragrance comes out.
Wow. Wow. So you got introduced to this as a child, and it just, you took it
I
over.
was an adult.
Oh, you were an adult. And it's just, you knew this was where you wanted to go.
Well, it was always a sideline.
I see.
You know, sometimes you have to figure out what you want to do if you want to be an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? You know.
Have you changed your mind on anything recently, Russell, like in the last month or so?
No.
Are you generally open-minded person?
The mind only works if it opens up. It's like a parachute.
Right.
It only operates unless you keep it open. So my thing is that you really, if I learn something every day, it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. So I'll just tell you my story real quick. So I started my business in the 90s, was working way too much, 14, 16-hour days. You're no stranger to this, I'm sure. I'm at the doctor's office. I'm at 340 pounds. She tells me, if you don't lose this weight, you're not going to see your daughter graduate.
Oh, my goodness.
So it scared the life out of me.
Certainly.
Driving home, upset with myself. I did this to myself, spent the next 6-7 months, lost 120 pounds, kept it off. And when people ask me, what's your secret? I say there's no secret, discipline. That's how I kept it off. That's how I keep it off. Willpower, focus. How does discipline play a role in your life, Russell? Right.
Oh, very good question. Self-discipline is something that's got to be exercised, practiced every day. So my theory, just to be short and sweet about it, is if you exercise the mind, the body, and the spirit every day, you're going to be okay. So I teach classes, by the way, Joey.
Really?
As a sideline. Self-discipline, self-structuring, and anger management.
Whoa.
And my consumer base is people who have entered the prison industrial complex.
And so you're actually, how do people get in touch with you if they're interested?
Well, generally, I advocate through the courts, social service agencies, and state, federal, local, county jails.
I think the mic is picking that up.
How's that? You turn it down?
So they get it through the court system.
Yeah.
And
I'm an independent contractor.
I see. And what do they teach in the class? What
I
do you
teach a
teach?
class.
Yeah, what do you teach? Sorry.
I teach self-discipline.
Wow.
Self-structure.
How do you teach somebody
Oh,
self-discipline?
man, I got a program that
I
I
see.
wrote.
I see.
I have a master's degree in organizational leadership and management.
Wow. Good for you.
Yeah. I went to school late, age 60. Graduated summa cum laude.
Wow. Wow. What motivates you, Russell?
Life. Life.
Really? Why does life motivate you?
Well, I have been blessed with 19 grandchildren.
Whoa.
3 great-grandchildren. So, obviously, in my mind, in my thinking, in my experiences, when you have that kind of commitment with family, that you should be upright. You should be teaching them something to navigate through this life cycle. And oftentimes in my community or communities that I came from, it's in my thinking, in my experience, it's been an organized effort to introduce people of color into that criminal justice system. Even the Department of Justice suggests and puts out statistical data that there's a lifetime propensity that you will be introduced into that system. So how do you protect yourself from that? Self-discipline. What you think about that, Joey?
I love it. So given that motivation, how do you measure success?
Outcomes. What you attempt to do on the front end is to reduce it. You're not going to be able to change the dynamics.
Right.
But if you change your thinking, you can change your actions. If you change your actions, you can change your deeds. If you change your deeds, you can change your destiny.
Russell, I thank you so much for stopping by. I really enjoyed our conversation.
Thank you for having me.
Great pleasure, sir. Great pleasure.
Thank you for listening and or viewing Joey Pinz Discipline Conversations. Please share this episode with one or two of your friends who you think may benefit from the episode. Our website, www.joeypinz.com. There you'll find lots of resources and you could join our mailing list. Please follow us on all our social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Podcast information, the video version of our podcast is on YouTube. Please subscribe. Audio is on all major podcasting platforms. Please follow them. And if you like it, please consider giving 5-star rating. Would really appreciate that. Thank you again for listening or watching Joey Pinz Discipline Conversations.